Let's move on, though, into our final topic, Johnny, and what we're looking at, a little bit of gaming news. And I picked this one for a reason. So 2 weeks ago, you guys might have already seen, we got a new gaming podcast here at MVP. Too old. Here's what I think we're doing, and David and Mark can correct me, but the hand signal is too old to game. Too old to game. Because you're making a 2, then an O, then a 2, then a G. You got to really extend that thumb. My thumb's not long enough. You got to curl it up. And you got to make a No, it's a hand signal. It's not sign language. It's a hand signal. Basically, the podcast is called Too Old to Game. It's going to be every single week gaming podcast. So I picked this topic so we can promote it and also talk about it because
smart ass, by the way.
We are not recording that podcast the week that Dave and I are at VidCon. So here's what I want to talk about. We talk about Stranger Things enough on this podcast.
Since when?
And the thing that I find interesting, Stranger Things is getting a video game. And they are getting, to me, a very interesting video game because the Telltale Games, at Telltale Games, tweeted this out. Separately, we're thrilled to confirm that Telltale is developing a game based on Stranger Things that will publish to consoles and computers for a later date. So, Johnny, this is what I want to ask you. We've got The Walking Dead, which The Walking Dead Telltale game, really good. Then we've got the Batman one. Oh, I love it so much.
Haven't played it.
Then we had the Guardians of the Galaxy one, which both you and I had played. Let's be honest, it wasn't really hitting with me after an episode, and most of the reviews didn't like it. It didn't hit with everyone else. So that's probably the only dud that we've gotten in the Telltale universe. Here's what I want to ask you. We also have like Wolf Among Us as well, that is really good, plays off of the Fables kind of territory of comics. What I want to ask you, what are your thoughts and reactions to getting a Telltale-like game where we know it's going to be heavily story-based and it's going to be based on your decisions and what do you do? What do you think about the Stranger Things universe coming to Telltale?
I think that's probably the best way to make a game about this series. That it would be
especially in the horror
genre. Yeah, no, that's probably the best way. The only other way would be to do a Silent Hill one, and that's
or like a Resident Evil type.
Not even
without the shooting.
Honestly, not really Resident Evil because that's a lot of shooting.
Yeah, without the shooting, which is Resident Evil.
Yeah, I mean, how do you do Resident Evil without the shooting, really? So I mean, I think Telltale is probably the best way to make a game about this, which is cool because it's real. I mean, even the shows are very heavily story based and not really like action based. There's not really a lot of fighting until like the very end of either of them.
Really, if it's fighting, it's, oh my God, I've got to move my mouse over and I've got to either click really fast or hit this button really fast. That's about all the action there is.
Exactly. There's not going to be a lot of that because, I mean, in the storylines, there's not a ton of that. It's mostly, and if you're 11, you do some things here and there, and spoilers if for some reason you didn't watch it yet, you defeat the Demigorgon.
Yeah.
I forgot what she uses it pretty heavily in the second one, like for some things, flipping a truck or flipping a van, I should say. A lot of like flipping between worlds mentally. And there was one she really uses it heavily at the end. Well, I forgot what for though.
And the thing that I'm also thinking about is we don't know what it's going to be called either. Also, another Telltale game I didn't mention was the Game of Thrones one, which they're going to be coming out with Season 2 at some time. Also, Wolf Among Us Season 2 is coming in 2019 as well. But with Stranger Things, the thing that is interesting is, are we even, like you mentioned 11, we might not even get that group. Because if you think about it, most of the Telltale games, except for maybe the Batman one, like I look at it, except for Batman and Guardians of the Galaxy, those are the only two that deal with the same protagonist that we have in the source medium.
Honestly,
you look at The Walking Dead, we weren't following Rick and his guys. We were following Clementine. So for me, I'm wondering, are they going to do it to where it's like a Batman Telltale game where we're following around 11 and the guys? Or are they going to say, you know what? Netflix and that series is doing a great job of telling you about this one group. let's tell you about this group over here. What's going on in a different part of this town, or even a different character to tell a different story that the Netflix series isn't telling.
That's either that. That's going to be interesting with the. Because
it's such a small town.
Yeah. Well, not just that too. I would say it's either got to be the group, someone in the group, or switching out in between people of the group.
Or, and I think this is a season 1 reference, or it could be season 2. Basically, you know how they go through like the government facility?
Yeah.
And like, it's like, oh, they were in this room. What if it's a prequel to the events and it's 11 going through everything before the thing in Hawkins happens?
It could be that. It could be the other one I was going to say is someone from the lab during the events.
It could be that too.
So that way you don't have special powers. You don't have, like, you have some know-how of something. You're an adult. We could be. I would say it's one of those 3.
Yeah.
But the one thing I was going to say that when you brought up the Batman thing, even that's not really like. Even that's kind of everything Telltale. It's not on the mainstream because it's about not. Bruce. It's about Bruce Wayne. It's not about Batman.
It's more. You're more spent in Bruce's body than you are Batman's costume.
Exactly. So,
which is interesting because most of the TV series, like you said, we get Batman and we get very little Bruce in there. I'm excited for this. Like, this is one where, like you mentioned before, if you're gonna do a Stranger Things game, this is how you do it. Because for Stranger Things, the thing that even think about when you're watching the TV show or the series on Netflix, a lot of the time it's like with Dusty when he's going over to the trash can. I'm sitting there screaming at my TV, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. If I was playing, I could say, nope, we're not doing that. We're getting the fuck out of here kind of a thing.
Yep.
Like, you already do that when you watch it. Of basically like, hey, you know what? I'm already screaming at my TV not to do something. Now I actually get to choose whether or not to do it. Or the thing that I like in Telltale Games more so, Wolf Among Us was like this. It was conversational as well. So, like, if you are 11 talking to one of the guys and you're controlling that guy, it's all right, how am I going to respond to 11 and which response? Or I'm going to respond to Dusty in this. What response am I going to give? What is that going to make him feel like? For, let's say, an example, you're going through, you got 4 choices. I'm going to choose this one. Ooh, that just made that relationship just kind of drift a little bit apart. Or, oh, I said this. All right, we're back together. He forgave me and he's not mad at me. Like, you can play a lot of that also with the Stranger Things characters.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting. I would feel like it would be kind of cool too, is having each chapter you kind of like are a different one of the characters from the group if they do the group. Yeah. That way you can play as a little bit of everyone.
Also, here's another thing, and this kind of feeds into the whole prequel or opposite story. Netflix has to have a plan with this too. They have to have some feed into it. It's not like a, oh my God, do as we say, but it's not going to be something like where my first thought is, holy crap, what if we played as Harbor's character, but it was him and his daughter, and we find out what happened to his daughter. But then I look at that and I go, they're probably going to answer that in the TV series at some point.
At some point, yeah. So, also, I didn't even think about it. What if we do play as Harbor?
What if we do?
Like during the events instead.
We could.
That could be another one. I didn't even think about that.
We could play as him. What if we played as Jonathan? We play as Jonathan, maybe Jonathan Steve a little bit. Yeah. More so Jonathan, I would say, would be another good one to play as. He's the brother. Okay. It was either Steve or Jonathan. Like him and the sister went off to.
Steve would seem more like a season 2 one.
Steve, I don't see us playing as Steve.
No, but I see if they were to introduce Steve as a character, it'd be during season 2.
The thing that I know for sure is I know they're not going to tell the same story that we're getting in the Netflix. It's going to be something additional, something outside.
Yeah, they're not going to just copy and paste it from the Netflix one.
It's just, what is it going to be? Is it going to be, or is it going to be, and I'm saying going to be a lot. I know that.
Going to be.
Is it going to be, because they say in the Stranger Things universe, is it going to be a alternate universe in the Stranger Things of like, okay, while this is going on, these people, although you haven't been focusing on it because you've been focusing on this group for so long, this person, kind of like Clementine for The Walking Dead, you're playing as this random person while all that's going on in Hawkins, who's experiencing similar things.
True. It could be something along the lines of that.
Because how do you also... here's one thing I'll ask. I'll just get it off my mind. Do they show the Upside Down with Will? Do we play as Will in the Upside Down? And like...
Something's
walking through the Upside Down, getting like that very like creepy vibe with it of like everything. Do we see a Demogorgon? Do they go more with Demodogs? Do they go more down the road of like, all right, we're going to introduce... Netflix tells them, okay, you can introduce this monster that'll be unique to the Telltale series. What are they going to do? What's the creativity going to be like as well?
Yeah, I would say, think that it'd be interesting. I would think you have to introduce at least a little bit of the Upside Down or stuff from the Upside Down. It's got to be one or the other. You can't have neither, because then what's the point in the game, really?
Well, you can't have Stranger Things without the Upside Down.
Exactly.
Or without the Demigorgons or Demidogs.
It's something to relate it to the Upside Down.
There has to be a threat from the Upside Down.
Exactly. So if it's not in there, why do you have the Telltale game? The one thing I really want to say, make it come out in October.
With Halloween.
Halloween right there. That'd be a game to play at night around in October. October's like the Halloween month right there.
Let me put it this way. I'm going to look up really quick. Stranger Things Season 3. I don't think they have a release date. Let me see.
I was saying for this.
No, I know, but...
For the Telltale.
Let's see. Stranger Things 1 and 2. So Stranger Things Season 3, and this is from NME.com. They're saying that Season 3... at the end of 2018, at the earliest, maybe even the start of 2019. The only thing I'm thinking about is it takes a little bit longer to produce a game. What I'm thinking happens, we get Season 3 of Netflix before the Telltale.
Yeah.
Telltale, maybe October 2019. At the earliest is when we get this game.
That's what I'm saying.
I just didn't want people thinking, yeah, dude, 2018 of October, that's when I want it. We're probably not going to get it by October of 2018.
I just want them to release it in the month of October. That's what I'm saying.
In October or Halloween weekend? Which one? Would you want it on Halloween weekend or would you want it just sometime in October?
Sometime in October because I do things on Halloween weekend. That's when Johnny
and if you release it, let's
Halloween.
say 2 weeks before Halloween, that gets people the time to buy it, and then they can play it around that Halloween.
See, Johnny
time.
embraces Halloween, so
I'm a Christmas guy. I'm not a Halloween guy.
I'm a Halloween guy. I love Halloween, so I embrace Halloween.
You just love evil things and scaring people, huh? You're not about joy and giving presents.
Release the evil.
Yeah, and I am like the big fat man, the Santa guy. You're
Release
like,
the awesome. I mean,
are you
really?
Are you little nicking me, by the way?
I am little nicking you.
You are little nicking me. I was like, I know what that is. Does that mean I have to hit you with a shovel? Is that what that means? I gotta hit you with a God, you do the laugh, too. All right, before you creep me out even more, any final thoughts on Stranger Things coming to Telltale? I didn't expect you to do the little Nicky laugh on me, because you do it pretty spot on, Johnny. I don't know if anyone has told you that before.
They said my mother was a goat because of my chronic halitosis.
Did you watch that movie recently?
No, you just made me think of it for some reason.
I don't know.
Because you said release the evil. I'm like, Little Nicky.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, the Santa thing, which of us have dressed up in the suit twice already?
You, not me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I still embrace Christmas.
I've never done
I still embrace Christmas, so don't give me that.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up this podcast?
No, I'm excited for this. This is one of those ones that I'll put the money down for and play it on this computer once I fix it up.
Well, next week, you know what we also need to do since you did the little Nicky thing? Either next week or when we get to the winter, we got to get you that big blue puffy jacket that little Nicky wears. You got to wear that for a full podcast.
Damn it.
With like the red pants that he wears also.
You're buying it? I'll wear it, sure.
I'll buy it. I mean, if I can find it for cheap, man, I'll buy it.
You buy it, I'll wear it
pants,
for a podcast.
Big puffy blue jacket.
But the whole podcast, I'm going to talk like that, too.
Oh, you have to.
You also have to buy me a bucket of chicken.
Oh, I'm not buying you a bucket of chicken. That's going to be a little bit expensive. Maybe if we're sponsored, then I'll get you a bucket of chicken.
You hear that, Popeyes?
Is that the chicken you
That's
want?
the chicken. Well, that's the chicken from the movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It is. I was thinking like KFC, Browns.
Nah.
Not sponsored, by the way.
It's got to be sponsored by Popeyes.
All right.
Because that's from the movie.
So we'll work on that Popeye sponsorship for it. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What do you think of Stranger Things coming to Telltale? Also, anything we talked about today. Wonder Woman with the Cheetah news coming out. The theory that we dived into with the Avengers with Professor Hulk. Let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section. Also, housekeeping here at the end of the podcast. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluedpodcast. That's where you can get a ton of rewards, an exclusive Patreon podcast each and every month for as low as $1. $2 if you want that video. Then if you're at our $10 tier, you could join a podcast each and every month. You are at that tier. So check out that link down below in the description. Make sure to check out our store where you can get an MVP t-shirt. That's in the description as well. Also, check out mostvaluedpodcast.com and rate us 5 stars on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Want to thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Release the awesome.